Good evening and salutations, my Beyond the Gates fans. Wow. It's still going to sit there and take a hot minute. I have some. The minute I sit there and do my intro, I have so many, because I watch all five of the shows. So it always sits there and takes me a second to be like, wait, which one am I talking about now? Okay, so I want to quickly talk about Bill. And, I want to talk about Haley and Bill, right? Haley goes to the country club. Nobody's waiting on her. Every staff just keeps walking past her and everything like that, and she's getting annoyed. She's getting frustrated, and she runs into Danny, and they exchange words for a little bit. She goes back home, and at some point she meets Bill, um, and she pretty much is like, "This might have been a huge mistake." Like all of it, the marriage and everything like that, this whole thing might have been a huge mistake. Because when you start to think about it, she ain't happy. She may be happy with Bill, but Bill cannot be her whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wants friends, she wants community in a sense, and every place that she goes to that's not like a dive bar or whatever, the Duprees pretty much own it. She's sitting at a table by herself. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's constantly having these issues with Danny and her kids and everything like that. And she's like, maybe we should just call this whole thing off. This is after Bill, makes a threat of, oh, I'm gonna sit there and bring the city to its knees. And I'm like, you know, you could have just chose to go anywhere. You could have chose to sit there and live anywhere. You chose to sit there and live in the same community, in the same town as your ex-wife, right? I mean, was this even about loving Haley, or did you just want to sit there and stick it to Danny? Do you still have unresolved feelings towards Danny? Because in what universe do you honestly think that this made sense? You lived with these people and was in great, you know what I'm saying? You know these people for a long time. What did you think was going to wind up happening when Haley, moved in after the whole scandal thing? You thought that people around the town were going to sit there and talk? She's practically getting shunned, and that's not fair to her. Yes, I know we could sit there and say, but she's a homebreaker, da 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 da. Yeah, I get that, right? But like it just adds to Bill's already bad character. We gotta quickly talk about I know I'm saying quickly, but we gotta sit there and talk about this little meeting or whatever, with Bill and Thomas and Mike. Let me tell you something about Mike. Mike is an asshole, right? Mike is a typical sleazeball that unfortunately people just run into at work. Okay, let's put it this way. For most companies, once a year, you have to sit there and watch this condescending video about workplace SH, right? You know why? Because assholes like him. First of all, they're sitting down and everything like that, and they're talking or whatever. And Thomas is, well, Bill mentions the whole date with Kat, right? And Mike is like, yeah, why don't you sit there and tell us the deeds or whatever? Did you sleep with her or something slimy that he sat there and said? And Bill was like, whoa, bro, like what's the matter with you? Mike is like, well, what are you talking about? I mean, you're not married to her anymore. Okay, but that's still considered his niece right there. Like, what? Like, dude, seriously? The fact that after he said, whoa, that should have been enough right there to end the conversation. He was like, well, what does it matter? You're not married anymore. And then he says to Bill, oh, your wife is hot. Excuse, what? So this is the second time he pretty much like, yo, slow your goddamn roll. Like, oh, okay, alright. Now, apparently, this scumbag was actually Bill's best man. Why Tomas was not in, and instead of Mike, who the hell knows? But again, does not speak well to Bill's character. Now, on the other side of town, Naomi is not there meeting some clients. And long story short, these clients wants to sue Bill's firm. Why? Because of Mike's scumbag ass. Right? So they all sit there and tell their stories about how they were treated by Mike. Um, Again, goes back to the video. Oh, you're gonna sit there and give me a promotion for like sexual favors? Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna sit there and give you a very bad review. And long story short, they started cutting their hours to the point where they practically fired them. And other clients, other lawyers that they approached, they were going to sit there and help because of Bill's reputation. But Naomi knows Bill, knows how he thinks. It's like, we really want you. And at some point, Naomi and Jacob meet up. And Naomi, after finding out about Jacob's thing, asks him for his advice, says, should I rep them or should I not rep them? This would be a good, look, for me being, coming up and everything like that and beating the great Bill Hamilton. But it can also seem across as petty and exploiting them or whatever. I don't exactly remember what it was, but she was meant to ask, like, do you think it's a good idea to do this? Or because at one point, even before that, she was like, listen, I'm pretty sure if you talk to my dad, he'll get you your job back and whatever. But they don't want that, though. They don't want that. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, to be honest, I don't really know much about Bill. So I would love to sit there and say, I'm pretty sure if they went up to Bill and he told him what happened, Bill would be like, okay, you know what, listen, you get your jobs back, that dude is out. I have no idea. I mean, Bill could just sit there and side with this guy or that guy. Okay, we gotta talk about this annoying ass character. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I read at the end of it? My thoughts was she is a female version of Spencer in every single goddamn way. Except for, unlike Spencer, who used to also annoy the living shit out of me, Spencer had layers. Now, granted, I think this is like the third week or whatever, and I know they're still building the character and everything, but it's like, my goodness, every single goddamn time that she is in the scene, I either roll my eyes or I'm looking at my phone. I didn't care about the scene with her and Tomas, but the thing is, when Naomi came in there to like give the laptop and everything like that, this chick is so vexed by the idea that she's hanging out with her family. I think, this is after she found out about the dress or whatever, which she got thousands of other dresses. Like, bro, you're just extra at this point. She cuts her date short because this is how petty she is. She cuts her date short to go over there to act like a privileged bully. So they're saying, "Oh, well, you're sitting in my seat." I'm like, "Oh God, okay." It's gonna be this kind of. It's gonna be this kind of episode. That's exactly what it was. I literally sat there was like, it's like I start to dread those scenes. I start to dread those scenes because people like her just like literally boils my goddamn blood. So after she acts like the privileged prick that she is, Nicole says a couple of lines, and then they all just move on, right? And I'm like, you know what? The family, y'all failed her. Nicole and Ted, y'all definitely failed her because y'all. This is the reason why she acts like the entitled jackass that she is. Because y'all sit there and give her a little, well, you know, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have had her run off and stuff like that. And then they just like start talking about something else. Again, Danny, right? Danny was there, but like this is the reason why Danny is the way that she is, right? Because for the most part, her parents, um, and her family are just a bunch of yes people that just kind of just pacify her behavior. This is the reason why she's not there at the end of the episode, being upset, drinking alone, lying on the floor. I'm like, what are we doing at this point? Are we going to sit there and try to really suggest this chick to get some therapy, or are we just going to sit there and say, it's okay, Danny, you know, Bill pushed you to this point, so it's not your fault? Because that's what I feel like they're doing at this point. Now, speaking of Jacob, Jacob was, well, on a stakeout with Marcel. Marcel. I always sit there and think about Marcellus. Marcellus Gerard. You know who I'm talking about right in the comment section. But anyway, they got the stakeout going, and it's pretty boring. And here's the thing. I feel like with Marcel, there's two things. One, like you said, he just wants to sit there and make it home alive. You know? He wants to practically run down the clock. You know, he wants to just run down the clock. Hey, listen, I hope nothing happens. I hope everything is just very boring so this way I can go home and, you know, I could just live and just kind of coast. I feel like that's where he's at, right? And especially after the time that he talked about his partner saving his life because his partner was in a lot of ways just like Jacob. So saved his life, pretty much got reamed out for it. Was like, you know what? I'm doing that again. And he literally looked and was like, yo, listen, if you're in a shootout, I ain't helping your ass. That's where he's at. At some point, they see Joey Armstrong, and Jacob wants to go over there and talk to him or whatever. But, you know, Marcel's like, well, what are you going to sit there and talk to him? Well, he handed him back a money. And? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Yeah, he handed him back your money. That's not going to mean it. That's not going to matter. Um, You're like, just chill out. So when he gets back, he pretty much tells him about his. I mean, when he gets see Naomi, he talks about his non-exciting day. Oh, and the other thing, I feel like he might have been paid off by Joey. I go in, I clock a couple hours, I see some shady stuff. I turn the other way. I have status, so they let me sit there and check stuff out, and you know, I get to sit there and ride out the rest of my sentence, pretty much. So I feel like in a lot of ways he's a corrupt guy. I mean, it's just an idea. I'm not for sure on that. What else happened in this episode? Hmm. I almost forgot about the fact that there's a point after the first time that Kat was stuck there talking to Eva about sitting in her chair, and you know when they moved away and they were talking somewhere else. There's a point where Eva pretty much just kind of just shuts her shit down with class. Like, yo, listen, your mom ain't firing me. I'm doing a good job. Da 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 da. And she just walks off. And she just shuts her whole shit down, right? And at some point, she's talking to Tomas, and you know she's flirting with him and everything like that. And Kat sees it. Kat sees it, walks back up, and it's like, oh, well, you're sitting there trying to take my life and take my address, and it's just like, it's just no, 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 no. And like after a while, I'm like, God damn, you really are like a female version of Spencer. But like I said, I really did like when she shut. I really did just like the fact that she shut her shit down with class and sass. Um, yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it for the most part. Not a super exciting episode, but I'm kind of okay with it to some extent. Don't get me wrong, I would definitely love, a little more heightened drama, whatever. But I realized with soaps, not every episode is going to be super great. Now tonight I'm not going to be doing a live stream. I'm just going to sit there and just take a rest day. Besides, it's already like 6:30, and I still got General Hospital, and I got Bold and the Beautiful to sit there and watch. So it's just going to be late, and I'd rather just start off the day early, get the soaps out the way tomorrow since I'm off, and then we could sit there and do the live stream after that. So, any comments and anything I missed, leave it in the comment section below, and whatever I want to talk about tonight, I mean, in a video, I'll talk about it tomorrow. And sorry about that. It's like, you ever notice when you're busy, that's when it's like everybody and their mother want to sit there and call you. Anyway, like I said, anything I missed, write it in the comment section below. Um, and we'll talk about this episode as well as tomorrow's episode and tomorrow's live stream. See you then.